The story kicks off and we're looking at a mysterious lab where two genetic scientists, Clive and Elsa, were working on a top-secret project. These two create different creatures in this lab by doing genetic mutations so their company can make meds from these beings and sell them at a high price in the market. Before this, Clive and Elsa used to just mix animal DNA to create new creatures, and different meds for diseases were prepared from the proteins of those same beings. For now, these two were trying to create a new species through experiments through which they would wipe out diseases like cancer from the roots. But this time, they created something that nobody had even imagined until now. It was a weird and unique male species of creature. Before this, Elsa had already created a female creature of the same species, and when they put these two creatures together, they started getting attracted to each other and joined up to form a new ovary. Seeing this, Clive and Elsa understood that their experiment was a total success. Celebrating this fact, they both head to their company and with great excitement, they tell their boss that they've mixed the DNA of several animals to create a new species from whose protein countless meds for diseases can be prepared. They go on to say that we've also discovered a way to mix human and animal DNA to create a new breed, which will change the direction of medical science forever. Hearing their talk, at first, their boss is stunned and says in a deep voice that whatever you were doing with animals was just a part of our research. But playing with human DNA is not just dangerous, it's illegal too, and the government could shut our company down for this. The boss says that all the meds you've made so far have brought a lot of profit to the company, but for now you just focus on making meds from animals because the company cannot give consent to research on humans yet, and therefore now you stop your research and focus on making meds from the proteins of those same creatures. Clive and Elsa told the boss that if we don't push this forward fast, someone else will come and make this discovery, and all our hard work will go down the drain. Their boss thinks for a bit and tells them that for now, this research will stay closed, and when the time comes, you'll get permission to start it. But in Clive and Elsa's eyes, there was still that same restlessness. Time had become their biggest enemy. They knew that if they didn't create that creature soon, some other company would definitely make it, and they'd have nothing in their hands. Meanwhile, by doing the same job every day, they both got bored, and they knew that real recognition is in genetic creation, not just in making meds. Feeling disappointed, they decide that now they'll push their research forward by hiding from the company. Now, without wasting time, both get to work. But to push this research forward, human DNA was necessary. So Elsa secretly brings the DNA of some unknown person to Clive. Clive asks in surprise, "Whose DNA is this?" Elsa replies saying that the DNA belongs to some unknown man. After this, both start doing constant experiments on human DNA and the animal DNA created before, and put all their hard work and time into it. But despite this, every time their experiment was failing. They worked for the company during the day, and at night they try to make their experiment successful. But constant failure puts Clive and Elsa in deep disappointment. But one day Elsa brings another DNA and says with great excitement, "This is the best DNA so far, and now we will start our experiment on this." After this, both start doing experiments again on that new DNA and the animal DNA already present, where after day and night of hard work and testing, finally they get success, and their experiment becomes successful. Animal and human DNA had fully merged, and now they had a new and totally unique DNA, which had the specialties of both human and animal inside it. But Clive remembers that this work is illegal, and if someone finds out about it, they both will get in trouble. But now the ghost of becoming the most successful scientist had taken over Elsa's head, and she wasn't going to stop at any cost. She sneakily goes into that machine room where such a genetic machine was kept, in which if any DNA was put, in just a few moments it would analyze the DNA and turn it into a new living being. Here Clive comes after Elsa in a panic and tells her to stop this experiment. He tells Elsa that the right to create or destroy anyone belongs only to God. We shouldn't mess with nature. But in Elsa's eyes, there was a different kind of obsession. She tells Clive that in this world, countless people die every day, and it's possible that because of our experiment, these people's lives might be saved. After hearing her talk, Clive also agrees with her, and both get busy pushing their experiment forward. But in that machine, that being was slowly developing. So these two come back to their house to rest, and from there, some loving talk, we find out that actually, these two are husband and wife. Before they could do anything further, they get a message from the lab about the machine overloading, and they both go running to the lab, where they find out that the pressure of that machine has increased a lot, and the baby is having trouble breathing. Both, without wasting time, get busy fixing that machine, where Elsa tries to fix that tank, but suddenly something starts pulling her hand inside, which makes Elsa and Clive very scared. Seeing Elsa in pain, Clive opens the tank and breaks the glass to free Elsa. And meanwhile, we also get to see this creature's baby, which was now free. Clive, without wasting time, captures that creature with the help of a box and sees that the creature has bitten Elsa's hand, because of which Elsa's health starts getting very bad and she even starts having seizures. Clive gets very scared and starts looking for meds in the cabin. After fumbling for a bit, he finds the right med, and he gives that med to Elsa, which saves Elsa's life. At night, Clive tells Elsa that he'll kill that monster, but Elsa refuses him from doing that. The next day, both lock that being in a chamber and bring it to their testing lab. And when Elsa checks it, she finds out that the being has already escaped from here. Now knowing this, Elsa screams for help, but her voice doesn't reach Clive. Meanwhile, in the blink of an eye, that monster also comes in front of Elsa and starts breaking things around. But instead of running from there, Elsa starts calling it to her right there and tries to control it. But Clive feels very bad about this because that being could be very dangerous. He somehow comes inside the chamber and forcibly brings Elsa out of there. Here he gets very angry at Elsa because of her one mistake, that creature could have killed her. But Elsa doesn't consider that being a monster and turns on the gas so that the creature passes out and these two can gather more info about it. After this, Elsa examines that being and she finds out that in this being's tail, there's a poisonous sting and it's a female being. Along with this, they also find out that this being's cells are growing very fast. So like it or not, this being will die in just a few days. After this, we see Clive working in the lab, where he hears the growling sounds of that creature from the air duct. His partner asks if he's working on some new discovery. So Clive turns on the radio kept there so that nobody hears the sounds of that being. After working there for a bit, he comes up to his lab, where Elsa had tied that being to a hydrogen cylinder and she was noting down every single thing of its progress. Clive tries to feed it with the help of a dropper, but that creature starts running here and there. Fed up with this, Elsa catches it with a blanket and then Clive starts feeding it. But even after this, that creature manages to free itself and starts running from there. Meanwhile, Clive's candy falls down, which that creature starts eating. Now seeing this, Clive understands that this being likes candy, so Elsa mixes that same candy in its food and tries to feed it like her child. And that creature starts eating by putting its mouth in the bowl like kids. And seeing all this gives Elsa a lot of joy. After this, we see both of them at their house, where we find out that some time ago, Elsa's baby had died. And maybe that was the reason that Elsa didn't kill that being and started raising it. In just a few days, that creature starts looking like a child, and Elsa starts teaching it how to read and write. One day, she gave it some letters and said to join them in such a way that my name is formed. But the creature joined those same letters together that were on Elsa's shirt. Seeing this, Elsa gets very happy, and she realizes that this creature is not just a scientific discovery, but now a strange and smart being. She was just getting happy thinking all this when suddenly Clive comes there and refuses her from doing all this. Clive doesn't want anyone to find out about this being because if they get caught, they'll lose their jobs too. But Elsa doesn't care about these things. She names that being Dren because this creature had just written nerd from the alphabets, and turning it backward makes Dren. But this thing feels very weird to Clive, and he starts getting angry at Elsa. Meanwhile, Clive's brother also comes into the lab, and Dren attacks him. Before she could cause him harm, Elsa tells her to go away from there, and Dren goes into a corner, obeying her. Now, Clive's brother had seen Dren, so now out of necessity, they have to shift her from there. After this, Clive goes to his brother and tells him the whole story and tells him not to tell anyone about Dren. Here, because of changing the place, Dren's health was getting very bad, which Clive puts her in a water tub so that her body temperature becomes normal. But Elsa feels like Clive is drowning Dren to kill her. And suddenly the same thing happens too. Dren's body becomes quiet in the water. Elsa thinks that Dren died, but the next moment she starts breathing in the water and her health starts improving. That same night, Elsa gives her her baby's toy and tells her that she'll always be with her. After putting her to sleep, she comes to Clive and they both start getting very romantic. But meanwhile, we see that from behind the curtain, Dren is watching them. After this, we see the company boss who tells everyone in front of the press that their company has created two such biological beings with whose help they can find a cure for any disease. After this, Clive and Elsa start their presentation, where those two beings come near each other. But the very next moment, they attack each other and fight until both of them die. Now, their project had totally failed, so the boss calls them into her cabin and scolds them a lot and tells them to find out why those two beings attacked after all. By now, Dren had also become quite big, and it wasn't safe to keep her in the lab anymore. That's why both pack her in a box and bring her to a deserted place. But as soon as she comes out, Dren runs from there, and when those people go to find her, they find that Dren is killing and eating an animal. They both bring her home and telling her to stay right there. They themselves come to the lab. Here at home, Dren starts playing with the things given by Elsa, and those two get busy finding out why those beings fought with each other, where during the investigation they find out that these beings also had the ability to change their own gender. And when they were giving their presentation, both those beings had changed their gender, and because of this they both died fighting. Over there at home, Elsa was trying to feed Dren, but Dren refuses to eat and comes up by breaking the ceiling. Clive comes up with great difficulty and tells Dren to walk down, but Dren doesn't listen to one thing of his and starts moving ahead from there. But suddenly her wings also come out, and then Clive finds out that Dren also has powers to fly. After coming down, Elsa does Dren's makeup and sees that Dren has made several pictures of Clive in her free time. Here, when Clive comes home, he sees that Elsa has fallen asleep and Dren is sitting in a corner, crying. Clive handles her and plays music to make her happy. After a while, both start dancing to the tune of the music, and meanwhile, we notice that Clive was getting close to Dren. But he handles himself, and telling Dren to rest, he goes from there. The next day, Elsa brings a cat for Dren, but Dren kills it with her sting as soon as she sees it. Seeing all this, Elsa gets very angry and she lands a slap on Dren. But in return, Dren attacks Elsa. If she wanted, she could have killed Elsa, but she takes the keys and leaves her. Before Dren could get out of the house, Elsa strikes her head with a shovel, which makes Dren pass out. When she comes to her senses, she finds herself tied up, where Elsa first cuts her clothes, and then giving her an injection, she cuts her tail. With the sting, after a while, Clive also comes there, and seeing Dren's condition like this, he gets very angry at Elsa. Getting upset with this, Elsa goes from there to the lab, and Clive frees Dren and returns home himself. Where at home, Clive sees that Dren is feeling cold, so he goes again to help her, but Dren clings to him without clothes. Clive first stops her, but seeing Dren in such a condition, he also can't stop himself, and they both start loving each other. And meanwhile, we see that Dren's sting comes back. They both were lost in each other when suddenly Elsa comes there and sees all this. Clive tries a lot to explain to her, but Elsa doesn't listen to one thing of his and goes from there. In the evening, Clive comes home and tries to explain to Elsa, but an argument starts between the two. Meanwhile, Clive also finds out that the third DNA wasn't anyone else's, but Elsa's. Both get very emotional, and accepting each other's mistake, they decide to make everything right. They come back to the shelter and see that Dren's health is very bad. Clive says that her life is complete and now she's about to die. After a while, Dren leaves this world and goes. Clive handles Elsa, and both together bury her in the forest. After this, Clive also burns all her things so that nobody finds out about Dren. Before they could leave from there, Clive's brother Kevin comes there, bringing his supervisor. The supervisor demands to see that being when suddenly a scream echoes in the forest, and they find out that Dren has already run away by breaking the grave. They look on the roof, and they see a terrifying form of Dren, and the very next moment she attacks the supervisor and kills him. Before those three could run from there, she flies off with Kevin, taking him with her. Clive and Elsa try to find Kevin, but by mistake, Clive's torch falls in the water. He moves forward to take out the torch when suddenly that monster pulls him into the water. Elsa feels that Clive also got killed, but the next moment Clive comes out of the water and they both think of running from there. But because of the cold, Clive started freezing right there. And just then, from inside the water, that same monster comes out. And seeing him, we find out that now Dren has changed her gender, and now he has become a male monster. He moves forward to attack Elsa, and Elsa runs from there, saving her life. After running some distance, Elsa hides in a bush, but that monster doesn't leave his chase there either, and attacks her. He first tears Elsa's clothes and starts forcing himself on her. Here, with great difficulty, Clive handles himself and puts a piece of wood through that monster's body. because of which Elsa is saved, but now that monster starts moving toward Clive. He attacks Clive and tries to kill him. Before that, Elsa picks up a stone and tells him to stop. But despite this, he digs his sting into Clive's chest, because of which Clive is killed right there. Getting angry, Elsa strikes him with the stone and finishes that monster's story right there and passes out herself. After this, the story moves ahead a few days where we see Elsa in her boss's office. She is now going to become the mother of that monster's baby. Her boss gives her a lot of money to raise this child and tells her to keep the research going so that after this child is born, the company can do research on it. And with this, the ending of this story happens. If you like this story, then share the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you next year.